Hello, everybody. It's Tanglewood Sue here. Shaking the camera. No, I didn't go to a tattoo parlor. That would be a dangerous thing to do right now. But my daughter has taken to just using me as a boredom tool when we're watching television or listening to music or basically anything. So this one's kind of cool though. Check this one out. Wait, let me see. You can even, oh my gosh. I said, Sadie, it feels like I've been to prison or something. All these tats on me now, but I kind of like that one. I don't like this one. This one I think just looks like a dumb jack-o'-lantern. But things could be worse than to have your daughter draw on you all day. Let me pull up comments here. Seriously, right? Life could be worse. Lisa, hi, sweet pea. Where am I? Where am I? You guys, I didn't want to take the risk of my clients screaming again today downstairs. And so I just decided to come into the studio and do some painting here. I'm the only one here. I didn't get pulled over. I asked my husband to write me a note that said I was essential, that art is essential in case I got pulled over, because he got this thing that he could download that says he's essential because he works for public safety and justice, and he had to go drive for something non-essential to pick something up from my sister's house. But he had a little note that said he was essential, and he's just walking around the house. That's right. That's right. I'm essential. I was like, will you write me an essential note? Will you write me that as an artist, I am essential and I can drive around or at least walk around the house like you are? Anyway, I didn't get pulled over driving here. I think it's okay that I'm here. There's nobody else here. It's my studio. And I'm allowed to do basic things for the preservation of my business. So here I am. And it's actually nice out, and I'm happy to have you guys with me today. And I do have this big project that was supposed to be done a while back. But with all this hubbub, I just couldn't get up the energy. I couldn't get up the energy, you guys, to work on it. I was like, I'll go work on that today. I'll go drive that 1.5 miles today. And then I could not get the energy to do that. But I did. Today, I figured it out. I got the energy. So let me show you what we are going to be working on today. All right, so this is a piece that was donated to me. And sorry for the noise. Okay, let's just describe the state of the affair here. The drawers were painted white. The trim was wood, but my client who bought it from me, who's actually a friend, gave me an inspiration picture that's an ombre of white going up into a beautiful teal. And so, first of all, if you guys are painting at home and you've got something that has wood and has white and you want it all to be one color, or wood and any other color, really, it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that you are sacrificial. Barbara, you crack me up. Get it all one color first, because if I were to use these colors. So I'm going to be using Miss Lillian's today, and this is going to be kind of my first foray into really blending with her paint. So I'm excited to have you guys with me. I've definitely tested it online with you. I've done a little jewelry box online with you, but I haven't actually put this to the test live. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm going to be using Jaded Parrot, okay, right here. And that's going to fade down into, please don't let me drop this. I got Snowflake. Okay, so that's gonna fade down. But if you're doing any kind of piece that you need to be a solid color, it has to all be the same color, because no matter how many layers you put on, if I'd left that brown and left that white, no matter how many layers I put on, there would be a ghost of the two colors. So I hope that helps. So here's what I got today. I got a little bucket of water, a little bowl of water. I've got a paintbrush. I've got a couple brushes. I have no idea really how this is going to go. I'm excited. And here's what's funny. I have people donate things to me all the time. And I don't know if you guys saw my last YouTube where I did a rant about Annie Sloan chalk paint? Well, one of my clients is kind of decided, not client, she was a fellow furniture painter in the area who donated actually this piece. Oh, full circle. And she's like, will you take on my Annie Sloan paint? I'm like, sure. I mean, I like the paint. So I was noticing today, I have like 15 cans of Annie Sloan now to play with. But the color that she gave me is Florence. And I would say that's almost exactly the same color. Isn't that funny? So I could have just waited, but you know what? I'm selling Miss Lillian's now, and it's important that I play with her paint and see how it goes. So, what have I done? All I did was use some chalked white paint. This isn't primer. It just happens to be some chalked white paint that I was using on another piece. So nothing fancy, and this was already done. It had no drawer pulls, so I also found some wooden pulls. Oh, that one needs to be screwed in better. And I went ahead, so does that one. Well, for goodness sakes, that's okay. I put all those in because if you are going to do an ombre effect, we want to make sure that, what do we want to make sure? We want to make sure that it all gets painted at the same time. You can't ombre and then go back, right? So I've just got, I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do this. I think I'm just going to use this little tray for now. All right, I'm going to just use this little tray. And Barrett, hi, sweetheart. You know what? I put on my personal page. I didn't put it on this page. My kind of, it's been so hard to get anything done that when I finally did get some paperwork done, like you can tell who your friends are right now because you can tell like when you put your personal triumph that I did my freaking taxes, like your friends, and you were the first one to go girl. And I knew there were some people who were like, we don't need to hear your personal triumphs right now, Sue. But it wasn't because I was trying to brag. It was because it was so hard. Like I needed to go out and tell people I did it. I got my homework done. Like I don't have any external validation. And so for an extrovert like me, it was like, I did it. I got it done. All right, so I'm just going to start. I'm going to keep talking and painting. So basically, I'm just going to put the white on. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a little of the green on. And then we're going to practice together, blending them together. What do you say? Y'all down with that? Kelly, I had the most lovely conversation, and I'm totally going to blank on her name right now. Kelly ordered some supplies from me, many of which I was able to get for her, but a couple I was not able to order from one of the IOD retailers. One of the things is back ordered. So I did a little search online and I went on my retailer's page. Sorry, this is a little wet. Went on my retailer's page and I said, hey, does anybody have this stamp? I got a really good client and she wants this stamp. Let me get the stamp. And this gal answered me and she was in Maryland and it was so nice. We spent an hour on the phone today, Kelly, chatting about paint and life and transfers and just politics. And I've never met this woman. But we had the most lovely time. So thank you for that. And I can't get the water out of this guy today. And she's sending me your stamp. And I'm going to go see her when all this is done because she's right on the Eastern Shore. So I hope we get to have some fun together. You brought us together. So if any of you guys want to order anything, the Miss Lillian's paints I can get you. There's a slight delay in shipping, but any of these paints I can get you because Miss Lillian ships really fast. Debbie's Design Diary paints, I am drop shipping everything. So if you want to support my business during all this, I certainly appreciate it. If you're learning something, you want to order from me. Basically, all DIY retailers sell the paint for exactly the same price. We cannot go down, we cannot go up. We can't give special orders. So basically, the way it works with Debbie's paints, it's really designed to be a completely level playing field so that you will order from your favorite retailer. That's me, right? I'm your favorite, right? Okay. So whatever you guys can do, put in those orders. I'll drop ship it. Some of these drawers don't sit quite well. So I'm going in. Do you see? I'm going into these little crevices here. I know, can you believe it? People are jumping on my live going, she's painting with white? What the hell is happening? What's happening? It'll be okay, people. It'll be okay. I just want to get this white on as a base so we can blend into it. I did make a new friend. Well, I try to be motivating, Barbara, but you know what it's like. You know when you can be motivated? Like, sometimes we get motivated because we're competitive. I mean, I'm motivated by competition. I'm not saying that's always the healthiest thing, but I was talking to my business coach the other day, and she was really funny because she was like, "So you want to do that thing so you can do it better?" I'm like, "Yeah, right." There's another reason. No, I'm being I don't really mean that. But yeah, why not? Why not use that to get us out of bed? I don't see a problem with it. Unless that's all you do it for. Unless that's all you do it for. But if I'm thinking about, I want to make a video about blank, and then while I'm dilly-dallying and wondering how I'm going to do it, and just basically freaking wasting time, and somebody else like post that video, yeah, it's gonna get me off my butt. I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem. As long as I'm trying to get somebody else off their butt. Okay, so let's see. This is covering very nicely, you guys. This is just the first coat. Ah, dang. All right, I'm gonna go turn off the heater because it's gonna be too noisy. Give me 1 second. If anybody jumps on, tell them I'll be right back. I gotta turn that off or we'll never hear anything. Okay, she's back. All right, so I'm gonna go and get all these little nookies and crannies here and get kind of a thick coat going of this white. All right, I know, it's boring, but sometimes you got to do the boring so then you can figure out how the rest is gonna work out. Now, there we go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Jaded Parrot. Is it like jaded as in like it's seen life and it's jaded now? Or is it because it's jade? I can only guess, I suppose. It's not, it is Jaded Parrot, not Jade Parrot. All right, I'm going to take the same brush. Do you hear me? The same brush. I'm going to dip it. Just the tips. Oh my God, I have a funny story about that. Everything I say, I can basically come up with a funny story about that. So before even extended family was off limits. Wait, hold on, let me stop for a second. It's going to be totally green here. So I'm thinking it's going to transition at about here. I might change my mind. It may transition lower or higher. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ready? Ready? Ooh! All right, so I'm just going to blend that in with the brush that I have, okay? And just start seeing how this behaves. Because like I said, you guys, this is new for me. But I'm loving that color, let me tell you. So I'm just kind of playing around, and I'm not worrying about what's going to happen, remember, because this is my first coat. So I'm just going to kind of play with what's on my brush and just see kind of what happens to my color. So my brush is pretty well loaded with this green, with this Jaded Parrot, and boy almighty, it's really going a long way. My goodness, it's going a long way. I haven't even dipped my thing in. Oh my God. I can't stop thinking that's what she said. Okay, let me explain. I am not as filthy minded. Well, probably am, but before we had to stop hanging out with our family, I went down and I spent the day with my sister. I'm going to dip a little bit more of the Jaded Parrot. And I got my niece to do a video with me. And her comedic timing, it's something, you guys. It's really good. She had just landed the lead in her school play. I'm so sad that it's not happening. But I think she's going to be a comedian. I really do. So she's helping me do this video. And my niece is very naive. I don't mean naive. I mean, she's never had a boyfriend. She's not crass like her auntie. She's always been like, if I say a bad word, she's like, Aunt Suey. You know, she's a good girl. She's a really good girl. And I still really love her. Of course I love her. So we're doing this video yesterday. And everything I said, she goes, that's what he said. Remember from The Office? Michael, no matter what. Like, even when it wasn't appropriate, that's what he said. And it became such a fixture of the video, everything we were filming. But then when it really was funny, when I would put the paint in and say just the tips, and then she would say it, even my daughter was like, Savannah said that? Oh my God. I mean, she's 17. She's not a baby. But she's a goody-goody in the nicest possible way. But the whole day she was saying, that's what she said. That's what he said. No matter what. All right, so I'm editing that video. So I try to keep videos. I'm going to spritz this with a little water because it's starting to dry before I can finish blending it. That's the difference between this and Debbie's Design Diary, you guys, is that Debbie's will reconstitute with water, but this I know will not if it is fully dried. But it's not fully dried. It's just kind of dry to the touch, so I still have time to mush. And it's letting me mush. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy. Can you guys see okay? It is a quarantine drink. It's totally. I'm going to move the camera a little bit into the light. So I'm editing this thing, and I try to keep my YouTube videos around 10 minutes, okay? I don't want to go too far over that. There we go. Can you guys see that okay? Too far over 10 minutes. But so what I do is I usually take about 3 hours of footage. This is what goes into a YouTube video, my people. About 3 hours of footage, okay? And then I whittle it down to an hour. And then I go back the next day and I whittle it down, to 30 minutes. And then I whittle it down, it takes me a week because you've got to get rid of stuff. You just got to cut the fluff. And sometimes if you do it all in one sitting, you get too attached to things and you think things are funnier than they are. You know what I mean? So you got to just give yourself some space from accepting that things need to be cut. So Sadie's over my shoulder today while I'm editing, and I've got it down to about 30 minutes. And I'm like, Sadie, I got to get it down to 10. And she's watching it with me. And, sometimes, all right, I'm dipping into white right now because I want to see what happens about blending right here. So she's watching it with me. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Look at how freaking easy that was. Oh my gosh. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a separate brush, and I'm not going to let it touch. The green except for on here. Does that make sense? I'm going to take one that doesn't have any. Just white. Just the white. I'm going to offload it a little bit on my brush and then blend it out. And this is still my first layer, but dang, it's looking good. This is some easy, I swear to you guys, I swear I have not done this before, but this is so easy right now. I'm loving this. This is easier than Dixie Belle was. Oh my gosh, I love easy. So my daughter comes in and she's watching with me, and she just starts looking over my shoulder and she's just laughing hysterically. And I'm like, are you laughing because it's your family, or are you laughing because it's funny? She's like, oh no, this is funny. And so she keeps going, and she sat there. I usually have to beg my family to sit there for the frickin' 10 minutes and tell me that my video, watch my video with me. Like, come on, watch it. And they're like, again. Like, I need to know where it's not funny. Come on. And they're good family, but I can tell I'm wearing them out. But my daughter, watching her, wasn't me, she sees me enough, but watching her her cousin. So it was half an hour, and she's like, don't cut a thing. I was like, Sadie, I can't keep it at half an hour. Nobody will watch that. And she said, I just did. And I'm a surly teen, and I just watched it. So yes, they will. So we'll see, you guys. I think I might keep it a little long. All right, so I'm looking at this, and I feel like this needs to come down further. It's too linear. Okay, so I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna play now. I'm gonna play. Where'd my little rag go? Just had it in my hand. Oh well. I'm gonna start I'm just gonna see what happens if I pull this down. I know you're like, say, just ruin it. I know. But I kind of want to get this down. Let's see. That way I can see how far I want it without spending too much time. Do you see what I mean? I'll pull up the camera so you can see. Like this is telling me, I'm still going to blend it this way, but I want to see how far down I want the blend to go. And my client wants it more linear than I would do it. Like he definitely wants it straight across, but that doesn't mean it has to be too expected. All right. What do you guys think? All right, so now that I see how far down I want it, now I can find here. I can find this and I can kind of blend that way. And what I like to do also with my custom clients, you guys, is I will send them a picture. Because sometimes they'll surprise you. Like they say, oh no, I need it to be exactly this way. Nope, Sue, you're not going to sell me on your crazy ideas. I'm like, okay. But then before I have to finish, I might need to it's hard to go over these and get these blended, right? I might need to, I'll just show them where I'm at. And I got to say, I'm not trying to trick them. I'm just saying, all right, here we are, and I'm about to go back and do what you want. And they're like, well, maybe. All right, so I'm really liking what's happening here. I want to get some more parrot. I just have to show you how much I've used. Okay, I put some on a plate. I put maybe a quarter cup on a plate. I've dipped my brush in twice, and I've gotten all of this color. All this color. I am gleeful. All right, y'all want to do the side? Now, what I am going to do is pull these out because this drawer, in case you guys have this happen, this drawer doesn't have its little stop. This one either. I'd asked my assistant to fix that for me. I don't think she got to it. So what happens is it goes in further than it should. I'm going to just paint it right now, but what I will do is take out this drawer and put 2 screws in so that that doesn't push in farther than it should. But for now, while this dries, I want to pull these out so I'm not basically drawing them shut. Right. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. It's going to make noise. It's going to make noise while I turn this, so just cover your ears, okay? I don't have this on rollers, so. Sorry. There we go. The light in here is good, I think. Actually, I'm gonna. I know. Somebody yelled at me the other day. She told me to be quiet when I yelled it was cocktail time. She said I was too loud. I was like, lady, it was cocktail time. Like, I can't hold back. Did y'all see that alcohol sales are up? How's that? I think that's good. I think you can see what I'm doing. 55%. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? I don't think so. All right, so I'm going to go back. And so I've got my little thing of water here. And what I'm using that for is just to get the color out of my brush where I don't want it. So in the end, what happens is my brushes all start getting contaminated. They all start becoming mint green when I'm doing something like this. So I do need every now and then to go back in and just press the reset button. Oh, there's my rag. Or get a new brush just for the single color. So let's do that. So I've got a fresh brush here. Let's get this white on here. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, oh, mine too, my darling. Mine too. And remember, I live right next to Town Center Market. The best, the best liquor store in town, basically. It's like, I was trying not to drink so much. I mean, wasn't drinking that much, but I was trying before this all started to not necessarily have a weekly cocktail. Save it for the weekends, save it for a band function, save it for parties, save it for the pool. And yeah, that's all gone to hell. We need little moments of joy. We need moments of joy. All right, so all I did was put the white on, and I'm making sure I get my little feet. So Barbara, those chairs go with the paint pour that I'm going to do. I'll show you the table today before we jump offline. That purple are a set of two that I just painted for my friend Denise. And Denise, you know Denise from the pool. And she is having me, she wanted something fun that brought in the colors of her space. So I'm going to take our old brush here and just the tips. Right into the parrot. And I'm going to start from the top this time. I want to see if that's easier. And she's like, well, how do I pull in all these different colors into a coffee table? So that's why we ended up doing the paint pour on Friday. Look at me. I remembered it was a Friday. I don't even know what day it is today, but I remembered we did that on a Friday. There we go. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the purple in that chair plus those other colors we did, and I will show you the table we're going to do, and we'll do that live. So, I resisted doing lives every day because it seemed, well, I got to be honest, it just seemed like more than I could commit to, and I don't like overcommitting and under-delivering. I would rather the reverse, right? But since I have committed to this, I can't tell you, like I was sitting here going, oh my God, when's it going to be 5? When's it going to be 5? Because I was so excited. I felt like it's like I need company right now. And I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm honored that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. I love the comments. I go through after I'm done, and I go through after this, and then I'll put together a little thumbnail for people to see. All right, I'm going to dip a little bit in this white. And then, there we go. And I've been so excited. So let's see. I was on the phone for about a couple hours with a good friend today, and we were talking about things that we hope change for the better and for a longer amount of time, like commuting. Like, can we just kind of get rid of that? For the most part, whenever possible. Can we continue being this kind and forgiving with each other when we don't make deadlines or we're having a bad day or everybody's kind of understanding that we're all in a bit of a state of depression, even though it manifests differently for each of us? But for me, and maybe it's just that I have awesome friends and followers, yourself included, I just feel I've gotten nothing but kindness, nothing but understanding, nothing but don't worry about it. It's fine. No, it's good. Now I don't know what'll happen if I can't pay the rent in this studio, because I rent out to a lot of other people who are out of work right now. But for the most part, people have been pretty amazing, and I hope that stays with us. Because the thing Thing is, people are always in a state of depression. People are always in a state of coping. We just are all aware of it right now. All right, I don't like that at all. But I think that it's just a matter of blending it right. But I think the problem is just these little places here. Let me see if I can I kind of want to go in the same direction. So anyway, I just feel like I hope there are things that last. I hope that we treat our earth more carefully, each other as carefully. All right, I'm kind of digging that. What do you guys think? I know, good memory. All right, I'm going to turn it all the way around so we can do the other side. And then we'll come back to the front, okay? All right. No, I don't want to move everything. It's better if I move this than move this whole setup, because that'll just be crazy time. Let's just hope it doesn't fall over. I'm sorry for the noise. I've got my special orthopedic shoes on, so I won't injure myself on these floors. Oops. But I will say I went for a walk this morning. And I am very protective of my space right now, of my personal space. And when I feel that I have marked my territory, and I don't mean peeing on it necessarily, but I do mean if I'm walking down the center of the street, around the corner from my house, there we go, perfect, and I feel like I have claimed to anybody coming by, I am walking down the middle of the street, people, because I do not want to come anywhere near you, right? That should be a given. And then somebody was like parking their car. I mean, it was like we've had to relearn so much. We've had to relearn this whole thing. We should have already known the freaking hand washing, okay? I'm sorry, but like that shouldn't have been that new. Maybe for that long, or how many times can we sing happy birthday? We actually sing the Violent Femmes in our house, but so it's a lot to learn that you're not supposed to walk up to people, you're not supposed to hug them anymore, you're not supposed, right? And we're all and some people are like 2 days ahead. It kind of depends on who watched the news, like who's the most up to date. Because if you watch the news that said don't even go to the grocery store anymore, but the other guy saw it on Twitter later that night, and he's walking into the grocery store and he's getting your evil eye. It's just like we're just getting our news kind of at different times. But anyway, I digress. So I feel like I'd staked out the street. I'm on the phone with my friend and I want the street. And this guy like pulls over, I guess because he lived there or something, and he's getting out of his car and he's like about to get into my space. And I was visibly angry. And it's just a lot to learn. I wanted that little bubble around me, and I felt like, just wait a second before you open the door, because I want this bubble right now. And I just can't imagine, I'm in this little suburban enclave here outside DC. I cannot even imagine what people are going through, I mean, that's why New York is so bad. I mean, there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to go. All right, we've got the white on there. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing. It's the alcohol. Oh. Are you guys also, here's my other confession. I'm just going down internet rabbit holes like never before. I guess when I don't need to be in a hurry, that's new for me. All my custom clients right now, who I usually feel a sense of, better get this done, are all like, yeah, whenever. I'm like, well, I do need to get paid. But they are basically in this, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we'll get it next month. Whereas normally they're like, will it be done? Will it be done by the end of the week? So they're not in a hurry anymore. So that means I don't really have to be in a hurry. And I still like to fill my days with things, but usually I stop myself from going down, into the interwebs because I've got things to do that day, and there's only so many hours in the day. Do you notice I'm kind of trying this differently every panel? Every panel I'm doing a little bit differently. This one I'm just doing really thick green. I'm just trying out to see which way is the best way to blend. And I just want to see what happens with each style that I do. So last night, I put myself to bed like 9:30 or 10. So I'm not sleeping well. But I don't want to go to bed so early that I wake up at midnight. Put oil in the hands and sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on the hands. I wanted to wash their hands. Aha, yes, Diana. Exactly. We all need these visual clues. I think if they were visual clues of how far our spray goes, like we know, aren't you surprised by when you can smell someone's bad breath, but you're pretty far away from them and you're like, how far is that coming? Like, I can smell that from here. Or you're like, oh God, I just ate that. Like, and there's somebody across the room and you're like, can they smell my breath? Can they smell? So we're amazed at how, like, if you can smell it, you're ingesting it, right? So I haven't seen a GIF or a video that really shows a visual representation. Like if we all breathed like Grinch air that like was green, and it showed this green bubble with every breath we took and everything we said and everything we used, like all those, and it showed, I think that would make a huge difference. Right? Oh my God, right. Cigarettes, same thing. People are like, oh, I'll just smoke up here. We got smart about that. That doesn't work, people. If you can smell it, even if you can't smell it, you're still ingesting it. All right, I'm going to try not putting anything else on this green brush, but it's not as full of paint, and I'm just going to see what happens blending it down here. I just want to try out every way I can. All right, it's getting a little crunchy, so I'm going to spray it. A little bit of water. All right, back to my story. So I love IOD stamps, okay? The stamps that I sell. They're the only big stamps that you can find. Trust me. You can't find those big stamps anywhere. Like giant stamps. You can find lots of little stamps. But let me tell you, this is me. I don't want a flower. I love their flowers. These are my products. I sell them. But they're all a little bit, not all. Sometimes I don't want a flower or a bird or a butterfly. I said it. Mic drop. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a painted furniture artist who doesn't always want a flower, a bird, or a frickin' butterfly. I want something, I want like a Celtic pattern, or I want graffiti, or I want just a layered stencil effect, or I just want something a little edgier. And so geometrics, right, Betty. Who makes large geometric stamps? You can find geometric stencils, but there's a big difference between stencils and stamps as far as how I like to use them. I really like, the stamp is the additive and the stencil is the negative. And I like doing both, but I want more variety. And so sometimes this is what I figure out allows me, something bohemian, right, Victoria? Something like Royal Stencil Designs is who I get my stencils from. And I mean, oh my God, there's thousands of patterns. But for stamps, and thank God IOD even has these stamps for me to choose from, because they're the only ones that I've ever found with these giant stamps. But I got myself in a tizzy last night that I want a giant stamp with a bohemian funky mandala pattern. And if I can't find it, I'm going to make it. 2 o'clock in the morning, I have figured out not only how to make the stamps, the process of making the stamps, but I am on these sites. I'm on India, eBay, about to put an offer in on some. I wasn't going to put in an offer, but I'm requesting more information on like some, crazy machine so that, and it's designed for people who are going to go into the stamp making business, which I'm not. But I do want to be able to make my stamp, and it is not beyond me to buy huge things when I want to make one thing. I've done it. I've totally done it. I've spent the money on things, not because I wanted it for business, but because I wanted what I wanted when I wanted it. Victoria, if I do it, can I make you a stamp? There's a whole process. So I have to tell you. So there are these YouTube videos. There's these YouTube videos with these men in India on dirt floors in these old factories showing me in their native tongue with no editing and no music. They're like the worst videos ever. They're like 30 minutes long, and I am captivated. Absolutely captivated. Oh my God. So you pay the photosynthesized plate and then you invert it. Oh my God. And then you put the stuff on, and then the stuff goes on, and then wait, do you rinse? And I have never had time to dive this deep into this thing. I'm like, how do I get it? Like other women might be on QVC ordering, not other women, other people maybe on QVC, like, ordering gems or jewels. And I am on a page on eBay India trying to figure out how I can make my own clear gel stamps that are at least 12 inches big, that I can make in anything I want. And I thought about it like Sadie's tattoo. Like I could make that into my own stamp. I'm getting my birthday money tomorrow from my dad. I haven't opened my check yet, but he always sends me money. So let's see how generous he is this year. Because I'm not using my equity line. Oh, did you carve them? Pam, yes, this is going to be ombre on all sides. So this is a client who wanted the green going down into white. So I am playing around with all different levels. Like this has a lot of white, just a little bit of green. And I'm just looking at it. So I'm going to close your ears again, kiddos. Close your ears. I'm sorry. I'll try to, if I'm going to keep doing this here, I'll try to get this on wheels on this. I might even be able to put wheels on this. I don't know. Well, here, let's just go super duper close up right now. That'll be fun so you guys can see. All right, so just wiping off the edges. Make sure, yeah, there we go. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is paint this round with the drawers open. I'm smoothing it out there. But I'm doing it with it open so I get the paint on there, but I'm also smoothing it out because I don't want it to stick either. It's kind of, you got to be careful. Like, I don't like it when you open the drawer and it doesn't curve up to the top on any level. Like it doesn't, it just stops. Like I like it to keep going at least around the edges. At least around the edges. But you don't want to make it so tight that your drawer doesn't fit. Well, Betty, what I found, yes, you can definitely carve, but what my thing is what I would like to do, my idea of this was to take an image that maybe is a little more complicated than what I could draw, or that had more detail. Like I love painting flowers. I've been really enjoying, and I think that I'm finding who I am as, I'm going back in with white right now, as an artist and what my hand can do and what I enjoy doing. But I I know I still have some limits in here as to what I want to do. And I would rather perhaps take a beautiful drawing or line drawing that my daughter does and be able to put that into the computer. Okay, I'm looking for my paint. Be able to put that in the computer and then make a stamp out of it. So I think that's kind of the what I want to be able to do. I want it to have a complexity beyond. I want to go back in here and get all these little button knobs, beyond what I could cut out myself, if that makes sense. And I also like the idea of being able to make things in different sizes, because I really love layering stencils and patterns. And I just think I have a lot of ideas in my head of things that I can't really draw very well, and I don't want to draw, and I can't find a stencil for, and I can't find a stamp for. So, I don't know. I'm just dreaming. Maybe I'll have to go to India. I don't know. But my husband kept coming in, because he's a night owl, and he'd come in to say goodnight at like 10:30, and then he walks by, and I'm still there at 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, and he's like, "My God, woman, what are you doing?" I was almost too embarrassed to tell him that I was watching YouTube videos out of India and trying to find prices. I mean, here, if you were on my Google, if you were watching on my Google analytics, or if you could see my browsing history, I was trying to convert rubles to English. Like, I mean, I don't know. Could you figure me out if you went on my browsing history? Like, would you be like, what the hell? She's searching for stamps, and now she's searching on Indian currency, and then, alcoholism. No, just teasing. All right, so I think what I should do, I made a little bit of a mess there. I'm going to push these back in. I wanted to make sure, so once we get to the next level, we don't want to be having to do, how do I put this? We don't want to have to go back and do the unfun stuff. So at this level is when get all your drips and make sure all your, because there's nothing worse than getting the perfect ombre and then having to go back and paint a piece that you totally missed, okay? All right. So I'm getting all those. All right, I'm going to push these back in so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Just got my little fingers on there. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about Miss Lillian's. I'm very happy. I'm liking the way I'm not fully reconstituting it, but I kind of am. I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's not all coming back up again, but until it fully dries, I am able to use it almost like a watercolor. I don't think I'd be able to come in tomorrow and do that, right? But I am able to do that right now. All right, Diane, I can't read all that right now. I'm gonna have to go in there and see what you're saying, because that sounds awesome. And yeah, if you guys have ways, basically what I want to end up with is like the IOD stamps that I love and I sell and I adore, but I want to be able to make some other designs. And I want to be able to make them from either my daughter's artwork or things I find online or inspirations or skylines. I mean, there's so many things. And I know I could do this for a stencil, but what I'm trying to figure out is how to do it for a stamp. Okay. All right, what do you guys think of the blend? Are we good? I think we're good. I think I'll come back tomorrow. I think while I'm here today, I'll paint the top. and let this dry, and then we'll go and do our final coat and decide how far down we want this to come. I think I need to stand back from it more. I like it being kind of heavier here, and I want this to come down a little, I want the green to come down a little bit more. But you can also kind of play with how gradiated do you want it to be. Do you want it to be like a fast? Do you want it to be a fast gradient or slow gradient? So, thanks, Kelly. No, I think what I'm also going to do before we jump on here tomorrow is fix the drawers from pushing in, because that's going to cause me a little bit of trauma. And also get these, what are these called? Knobs in a little better. And then don't be scared when you're doing these to kind of go back in with your light color up at the top. Just for a little highlight. I mean, it could be fun or it might be awful. You never know. I'm going to stand back here and see. Yeah, I don't like it going all the way down the side here. All right, well, if you guys can figure this out for me. I mean, I know I figured out, I mean, I got to be a bit of an expert by about 3 in the morning. No, I wasn't that late. I did get to be a bit of an expert in what I didn't want and what I did want. I don't want to do a rubber stamp, meaning rubber like I definitely want it to be like a cling stamp that's bendable. And the biggest issue was just making it replicable and large. You know, and yeah, I could just call a stamp company. I mean, I could just be like, all right, but it's going to cost me a few hundred, maybe not that much, but it won't be cheap. And I guess I just want to do it myself. I want to do it myself. What is that meme? You know, one of you guys knows it, I know, but basically you could either buy the product for $100 or spend $3,000 making it yourself. That's me. Sometimes that's me, but sometimes that's a good thing, because that thing, sometimes I end up doing it and I only use it once. I'm like, well, that was kind of a waste. I just got that knowledge, but that was kind of a waste because I didn't use it again. But for every time that happens, there is a time where I'm like, that thing, that skill set comes back and I need it again. Like image transfers. I was like, oh, I bought all this stuff to do image transfers, and then I kind of stopped selling image transfers. But now, when I have clients who want an image transfer, I got everything I need. All right, I think I need to leave it alone. I'm going to take this off and let you guys see it from afar. There we go. All right. I mean, you guys, that's 45 minutes. And that's like basically kind of the second coat. Not really. I think for him, I'm going to make it even smoother. Like for me, I like it a little bit choppy. But I think for my client, I probably will end up going even a little bit smoother. And then you want to make sure that wherever your line is, your delineation line, that you kind of follow it around the sides, right? So over here, it's a little different. You know, we've got it heavy and then it's really fading out completely down to the bottom. Whereas here, we definitely have more of a gradation. I hope that makes sense. So, but now I can just kind of, I think now's a good time to, don't try to do it all in one day. Just don't do it. This is where I would just move on to another project and say, okay, I got the colors that I like. I got the paint that I like. I've got the general look that I like. Walk away, go do something else, and then come back the next day and finesse it. Because if I try too hard to get everything right now, I'm just going to screw it up. Okay? So, I got to get home. Do you guys know why? Do you know why? Wait, let me see. Resin. All right, Betty, I'm going to look through these comments afterwards. So, I'm Tanglewood Sue, for those of you who don't know. Those of you who are new. If you are seeing me, I see a lot more people every day seeing me on YouTube. I primarily do, well, I guess the balance is tipping now because of the situation, but I do have a lot of edited videos, and I've thumbnailed them so that you can tell which are lives, i.e. which ones are just a complete and utter like ramble and back and forth, and which ones are my edited videos. So you can look at either one of those. And Miss Lillian's paint, I'm fully stocked. So if you guys, this is Jaded Parrot. Anything you want, I can get. And if there's a size I don't have, I'll get it and I'll get it to you. But so far, everything I've tried, I've really enjoyed. So you guys, thank you so much. It's cocktail time! I'm going to drive home and then not drive no more. Okay. Oh, wait, I was going to show you. Hold on. Let me show you this real quick so you can see what we're going to paint pour. Oh. All right. This is the table that goes with the purple chairs, and we're going to pour the whole thing. This was one of those crazy, slick coffee tables, and I told my friend, I looked at it and I said, I love you, and that's why I need to be honest with you. This is not wood. This is particle board with a laminate with some kind of coating from hell, and it is so glossy. So I'm not even going to sand it, because if I sand it, I'm going to unearth all the particle board underneath it. So we just put a heavy-duty primer, and then we'll put the paint pour, and then we'll seal the pour. And then we'll go from there. All right, I think that's it. For real this time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.